geographical boundary, working toward creating a global spiritual community rooted in profound love, which cultivates wonder, imagination, and the courage to act. Adapting to the COVID-19 pandemic has been difficult for many bricks and mortar congregations. Early on in the pandemic, we were in a unique position to assist many congregations with the transition. We hosted special episodes of The View, provided advice and counseling to religious professionals, and trained congregations for live streaming worship, all while providing robust online programming for our members. From worship to covenant groups, from classes to pastoral care, and from our monthly magazine to our letter writing ministry, we have found ways to build connection and community even through the screen. We have been a model for ministry on the margins, providing services for isolated Unitarian Universalists, becoming a spiritual lifeline for our members in prison, and investing in innovative ministry. We know better than anyone how deep and meaningful connections can be formed even from a distance. Unitarian Universalists have faced many challenges in these times, and we continue to persevere and to fight for justice and equity for all people, especially during moments of crisis. We are proud to be a leader in this faith movement, and we invite you to get involved in our ministry. We strive to be a place where anyone from anywhere can find spiritual refuge anytime they need it. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of the Larger Fellowship. We are so excited to bring you an all-new episode of The View. The View is a weekly Unitarian Universalist talk show discussing important faith-based topics from an anti-racist, anti-oppressive, and multicultural perspective. Every Thursday for the past 7 years, we have welcomed guests from every corner of the world. Our guests are writers, scholars, activists, and religious thought leaders who are shaping Unitarian Universalism and society for the 21st century and beyond. I hope today's show inspires you. Hope it builds your faith. Hope it gives you perspective to see the power of Unitarian Universalism at work in your life. Enjoy the message.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to this episode of The View. How are you doing, everybody out there in Viewland? It's so good to be with you. I am Christina Rivera, she, her pronouns, and I am 1/3 of the Church of the Larger Fellowship co-lead ministry team. Off today is Aisha Hauser and Michael Tino doing all of the things for Unitarian Universalism. And also co-host Janine Gelsinger, who is having some spring break with the kids. So spring break for them, I'm not so much sure how Janine would term that. But we do have DC here. How you doing, DC?
Hey, Christina. I'm doing well. It is sunny here in central Pennsylvania. In the traditional land of the Susquehannock people. Is sunny but cold and windy. We managed to dodge all of that snow that went to the northeast in the last couple of days. And, I'm a little resentful because it was 70 like last week, and now it's like 30 something or 40, and I'm a little offended by that. But, I mean, aside from being offended, not bad. Yeah, things are rolling along. Tomorrow's St. Patrick's Day. So there's fun associated with that. And I'm glad to be here. I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it.
Yay. So for all of you folks out there, St. Patrick's Day is St. Patty's Day, if you abbreviate it. No, it's not St. Patty's. P-A-D-D-Y, not P-A-T-T-Y.
Right. That's, having grown up Irish, I actually sort of avoid most of the bright green stuff that happens on St. Patrick's Day. I grew up Irish Catholic near Boston.
Oh my, you were in it for years.
So yeah. You know, the plan for most people that I know who were Irish was to avoid Boston at all costs. Because there were people throwing up green beer on the tea at 8 in the morning. You know,
at 8 in the morning. Wow, that's
yeah. They're serious about, and it's I don't know, and maybe the comparison is deeply wrong, but it feels like America has done to St. Patrick's Day what it has done to Cinco de Mayo.
Oh yeah.
Right? It's an excuse for non-Irish people to get really drunk and behave badly.
Right.
You know,
and
to sort of
to highlight commercial beer sales, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So I sort of twitch when people do that stuff. And St. Patrick was a rat bastard, to be fair. You know, he was English. But I remember our family always sort of suspected that the Irish had done something to anger a pope some years ago, because otherwise, why would St. Patrick's Day be put squarely in the calendar in the middle of Lent? That just seems unfair.
There just seems to be something there.
Right? Yeah. So I'll probably get up and make my grandmother's Irish bread recipe.
Oh, nice.
And avoid the stupid that'll be outside.
There you go.
You know?
There you go.
Yeah.
Just make it your own.
So sorry to like grumble on that, but
no, I'm all for, you know, being able to express what the actual truth of the matter is. For sure.
Yeah.
What else do we have going out in Unitarian Universalism land, or just the world in general? Yes.
Well, the Ministerial Fellowship Committee is meeting this week, and meeting with and interviewing and checking out the new batch of people who are in ministerial formation, and sending some of them on to preliminary fellowship, and then sending some others maybe back to do some homework. But it is an enormously important and enormously stressful time
for everyone involved.
The MFC
Absolutely.
has to read so many packets, and these packets can be hundreds of pages long.
Right.
And then the people attached to the packets get 45 minutes to impress the MFC.
With a sermon in there somewhere.
With a 10-minute sermon, not an 11-minute sermon, not a 9-minute sermon, a 10-minute sermon.
That's right.
And then sit and answer a bunch of questions, after which you leave and go to cool your heels while they discuss whether or not you get to be a minister. It's
pretty wild when you think about it.
It's wild, and it's extremely stressful, and I wish we had a better way to do it.
I do know that they're working on a better way to do it. There is a committee of the MFC that is actively working on a new process, and bless them for that work that they're doing in addition to
reading all the damn packets. Yeah.
Exactly. Like, you know, talk about, okay, I'm going to do this thing, I'm going to fly this plane, and at the same time, I'm going to dismantle it and rebuild it while we're doing all the things.
While it's on fire.
Yeah. Let's just add that in there. Yeah. So yes, we're definitely sending out all of our love and our prayers to everybody involved. Not to mention that the MFC is made up primarily of volunteers.
Exactly.
This is a primarily volunteer group. There are some paid staff on it, of course.
But
just really
For the
excellent.
most part, it's volunteers who in years past would get sort of a mini free trip to Boston, right?
Yeah.
Yet now it's all on Zoom, so you
Yeah.
don't even get to go to Boston.
No.
To
No.
to sort of connect and see each other. No,
Yeah.
you're stuck in your own den with your own computer, reading packets and listening. Yeah. God bless them. God bless them.
We're excited for them all.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else
yeah.
is so yesterday, the premiere of Ted Lasso season, I don't know, 2, 3, whatever. So this is
Okay.
my Richmond Football Club bear in honor of
All
Ted
right.
Lasso. I have not seen it yet, so all of you people in the comments, please do no spoilers.
No spoilers.
No spoilers.
And I am so departed from pop culture, I have no actual idea what you're talking about.
So Ted Lasso is this really fun series about an American or a U.S. football coach who gets a job as the head coach of a British football team. And of course, British football is actually our soccer.
Right.
Having never coached soccer or played soccer or done any of those kinds of things.
Right.
And, you know,
and there's no hitting in soccer.
Well, there is. There's a lot of hitting.
Well, there is, but there's also a lot of drama.
Yeah. And so, you know, hijinks ensue and, you know, fish out of water and all of that kind of stuff. It's a lot of fun. And if you're a soccer fan, like our family is, it's a lot of fun. Just because, you know, to see the jokes, you know, that the things that he doesn't understand, that, you know, that the team is like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And, you know,
an American stranded somewhere else is guaranteed
and also,
laughs.
You know, also some social commentary about, you know, the buying, quote unquote, buying and selling of players and team ownership. And some things like that. So that's been also really relevant, and some mental health themes as well, which has been nice to see that addressed as well. And you know, some things like, you know, how do you do when you age out of soccer? Like what does that feel like? And so yeah, it's been fun. It's a good time.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. I trust you. It sounds like fun. You know, in a sort of way I don't understand, but I get that it's fun.
It is. It's a good time. But I wasn't able to watch it last night because I was working yesterday kind of late, you know, almost quitting time. And I got a phone call from my husband and answered it, of course. And he says, hi, what you doing? And I said, oh, I'm just working. And I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, well, I think I need you to take me to the hospital. I'm like, what now?
What
now? And,
hi, you busy?
Yeah, exactly. Like, he's just like, you know, he opens it just like we always do. We always ask each other what they're doing. And you know, so already I'm like running.
What happened?
Well, I'm already running for my shoes, you know, on the phone. And he's like, well, I think I broke my hand. And so now by this time I've got my shoes on, I've got my handbag. I grab, you know, a grocery bag and go to the ice box and start throwing in the ice pads and throw in some water and some, you know, some pistachio nuts, because I know we're going to the ER, and we all know that the ER you could be at for a day these days.
Right. Yeah.
Or not.
Right. Unless you go in with chest pains, then things move a little faster. But yeah.
So I jump in the car and he tells me, so, you know, I'm in Virginia, we live on a farm, and he tells me, he's like, okay, it's the campsite in the woods. And so we live on about 100 acres, and most of it is woods or hay fields.
Pasture.
Yeah, hay fields. Okay. And I said, okay. And, you know, so I hang up, and as I'm driving, I jump in the 4-wheeler truck. And as I'm driving, I realized he said the campsite, but we have 3 campsites. Like we have And I'm like, which campsite do you
okay.
mean? And he calls me back to say to bring his wallet. No, he calls me
Right, the
back to ask
insurance card.
yeah, for the insurance card. I'm like, don't worry about that. And I'm like, but which campsite? And he's like, I have to hang up because I'm carrying my helmet in one hand, I'm carrying my phone in the other hand, and my
And it
hand is
hurts.
broken and it hurts. And I'm like, drop the helmet.
Jesus.
So
How have men managed to live this long?
I
I
really
don't
don't know.
understand.
I really don't know. So he's like, no, I can hold it. I just can't talk on the phone at the same time. So
Drop the damn helmet, dude. Oh my God.
yeah. So
All right.
by
So
then I'm driving. I figure it. Luckily, the campsites are in a row, and when I say campsites, it's like they're campsites to us. Like we know that they're campsites. They're not actually campsites. We just go up there and
right.
camp sometimes.
Right.
And so, I passed the first campsite, he's not there. Second campsite, he's not there. And I'm on
Of
to the third,
course.
and I can kind of see him through the trees. And he's walking up, and he looks good. So
Right.
gets in the
Okay.
car and shows me his hands, which are just bloody messes.
Oh no.
And yeah, and I'm like, okay. And
Did you
proceeds
happen
to
to
show
bring
me.
towels?
Yeah, I did. He proceeds to
Okay.
show me the pictures that he stopped to take of the
Okay, that's totally something I would do.
right.
Okay, that's totally something I may have done. All right.
I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, well, I knew I had to take pictures. And I'm like, I don't even know what to say to you right now. So
So what had he done? What had he done?
we have a dune buggy, like a speed buggy.
Okay.
I call it the
Sure.
speed buggy because it's
Right.
and we
It's
have
like a
trails.
four-wheeler with doors.
Not even doors. It doesn't have doors. It's really like the speed buggy.
Like a golf cart, a four-wheel drive golf cart.
Yeah, a little bit more like racing, like
Okay.
speed. Yeah,
Oh, fun.
yeah.
Right, like a
It's
four-wheel
got
drive
like
golf cart that's dangerous.
it's totally open. It's got 2 bucket seats
Okay.
and a steering wheel, and that's like the engine and
That's
all
it.
that kind of thing.
Right.
But yeah, it's pretty roll cage.
Oh, good. Jesus, that sounds like you might need it.
Yeah, because he rolled it. He came around a corner and
he was holding on to the bar when he went over, apparently?
no, not luckily, on purpose, we have 4-point harnesses on our speed buggies and big helmets. And so if you roll, you're just, you're strapped in, you're not going anywhere.
Right.
But his hand kind of came out, and then the cage rolled on the hand a little bit. So yeah, he showed me the pictures of the buggy up on its side like this. And that was our evening, taking him to the emergency room. He's fine, everyone. He's totally fine. No,
and was it broken?
It wasn't broken, miraculously.
Jeez.
The ER staff was so it turned out those eye masks that they've got little beads in them, in gel, and you can put them in the freezer. Well, I have a lot of those, and so that's what I grabbed when I grabbed the ice pack, and he put it on his hand, and we went to the ER, and they're like, that's a great use of those eye packs. We've never seen that before.
It was in the door of the freezer.
I'm like, thank you.
Oh my word.
Yeah.
Oh
so
my word.
He's in a splint. Insane. He had x-rays. He's got a little bit of pain meds. He's tired and sore, and
he squished it, but he's gonna live.
Yeah. And now he's making plans for how he can go take the skid steer and turn the dune buggy over so he can drive it out with one hand, which is totally something you would do, DC.
Yeah, totally. I was like, I can't even fault him for that.
Right. I said, if anybody I could tell this story to, that DC would be the one that would empathize with wanting to go out the very next day onto a different piece of machinery.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, a skid steer is, that's different. Yeah, that's, yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure.
Ish. Yeah, right. Yeah,
So
it's not broken,
it's not
right?
broken. Yeah.
So take some Advil and go. Yeah, you're fine.
Why not? Why not? What could go wrong? Friends, I have my phone right here, just so you know. It's right here because
Oh
he's
my
out
god! I
there.
used to work with a guy. When I was doing contracting work, I hired this guy, and he was a long, lanky redneck from Tennessee who'd also been in special forces. So he had some stories to tell and wasn't afraid of maybe doing dumb stuff to get the job done. And we'd take turns sort of like doing the dumb stuff to get the job done. And one day I'm up on a ladder, braced, cockeyed somehow on a 5-gallon bucket doing something with a plank. And he's like, I'll just dial 911 and wait.
Tell 911, just put your hand
No,
on the
just
send button.
right.
Just
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
send
Exactly.
button.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I'll just wait.
I'll
Get
just
call
wait.
if I need to. Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah.
So he's okay.
He's
Yay.
good. He's all good, and but
Oh my
we did
goodness.
spend several hours at the emergency. Not that long. It was only 3 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. It's this, and we didn't know our local hospital has this brand new ER wing that is beautiful, and
Is
lots
this the
more.
same place that was giving you a bunch of crap a while
No,
ago?
that was a different place.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
Well, good.
yeah. And they have the X-ray that comes to you now. So you don't have to go to the X-ray, which I know, brilliant.
But it's not radiation anymore. What are they?
How do they? But it is. They kick everybody
portable
out.
radiation.
It's portable radiation, I guess, smaller. And so they're like, you have to step out into the hallway, ma'am. I'm like, okay.
Wow,
And
it's like a
yeah,
little ray gun.
zipped it.
No kidding.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was really, really kind of cool. And it makes it so much faster, because you don't have to wait for the
yeah, you could have a couple of those and have them moving around and doing stuff. Yeah, and then you don't have to worry about booking the room and all of that stuff.
Yeah,
wow.
So I was like, look at this. New things
That's cool.
in medicine.
That's
now,
cool.
If only everybody had access to this.
Right. And I was thinking, I wonder, as we were talking, I was thinking, I wonder what the wait is in the emergency room in, say, Canada. If you go in with a broken hand.
Right. Any Canadians listening to us right now, put it in the chat and let us know what.
Yeah.
Broken hand, potentially broken hand. I mean, it was swollen up,
right.
About 5:00 in the afternoon. Let us know what the wait times are.
Yeah, because I'm thinking how much emergency room traffic in the U.S. is about people who just didn't get regular care until it got to a crisis point, and now they're in the ER.
Yep. That was definitely the guy next to us. So the guy next to us, because you can hear other people there.
Sure.
No insurance, below the Medicare age, doesn't qualify for Medicaid, and
was about to go bankrupt because he had a UTI or something.
He had bronchitis. He needed bronchitis that was changing into pneumonia. So
he needed essentially just antibiotics.
He did, and now that it's changed into pneumonia, he's going to have to be hospitalized and taken care of. And, yeah, exactly.
And go bankrupt, right?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Jesus,
I know.
Yeah,
but they got this big, beautiful new wing, so at least you can be in comfort while they're sending you to bankruptcy.
Right? Yeah.
So other things happening in the UU universe or the actual world universe this week. We said something and now I've forgotten what it was. It was besides the MFC. I'll find it, folks. It's okay.
Okay.
It's not that.
Because I was thinking like we could totally riff on bank failures. um, because
Yes.
tech bros made dumb investments in, crypto and God knows what else.
Yep.
Whew.
So how much was that? 20 million? It was 20 million, right?
Billion.
Wow. Holy
I
crap,
think.
moly.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Because their
No, that's right.
depositors had something like that,
Mhm.
but they had invested so much money in, horrible things,
Right.
right? Magic beans that were going to give you a ladder to the sky. And then people wanted their money back. And I understand that if you're a small business and you've got, enough in there to rotating, like pay the bills and do payroll and all that other stuff.
Right.
And it was this is the Silicon Valley Bank, and it was the 16th largest bank in the country.
Wow. 16. I didn't know that.
Yeah, 16th largest bank in the country. This was
Holy
not
crap.
a small community bank. Okay?
Because that's what you keep hearing, right? That's
right,
the soundbite that they keep putting out.
16th largest bank in the United States. And so if you're like the thing is it had its depositors started out as largely tech startups. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're in Silicon Valley. They've got to make payroll. They've got to do all this other stuff. So they're going to have $500,000, $750,000 in deposits in various accounts,
Mm-hmm.
in each business. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And FDIC only insures your deposit up to $250,000.
Right.
You have $250,000 and $12. Like they'll cover the 250, but you lost the 12.
You're
right?
out the 12, right?
And so people were trying to withdraw
Oh, right.
Withdraw from their accounts down to 250, and they just didn't have the cash. They didn't have the assets liquid to provide that cash to people. And so that's what caused the run on the bank. And then yesterday, another one in New York City went belly up.
I did not hear that.
Yeah. Saw that in the New York Times this morning. It was,
I know that
one of the smaller ones, but still,
Yeah, I know they were trying to prevent that.
Anxiety is really contagious.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
In the financial markets. So, and there's this perverse narrative on right-wing media that the board of directors of Silicon Valley Bank was some sort of woke cabal making poor investment decisions because they had a couple of queer people, one black person, and two Asian people, right? Like if that were a bunch of old white guys, we're not sure they'd have made those. Shut up.
Right.
Shut up. Yeah. This is Silicon Valley Bank.
Right.
These are guys. Yeah. No.
No. Well, and yes, I did see, and I'm scrolling for it right now, and I'm not finding it. I did see a graphic on what the 20 billion could have bought. There was a graphic on social media today, and of course now I'm not going to find it now that I'm looking for it.
Right, yeah,
but yeah, it's it's just astonishing what we're willing to bail out, right? And
well, interesting thing is that in 2008, the financial crisis there, where the Goldman Sachs and some of those others failed, the Fed bailed out. Not the Fed, that's a different thing. The U.S. government bailed out the depositors and covered all of their deposits.
Right.
But what they also did was they covered the losses of the stockholders, which makes no sense whatsoever.
Right.
You play the stock market is like you play in roulette. You're making a bet. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. If you bet on bad stuff or you bet on companies that are doing dumb shit, then you lose your money. That's just how that works.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And so this time, I think they're not going to bail out the stockholders. That's just
They,
not going to happen.
They were
But
very
they are
clear
going to
about that.
cover.
They were very clear
Yeah.
about that. They said, you know, we're bailing out. And they also were clear that at least some of the money, they didn't say what percentage of it was money that the banks pay into a fund.
What I read is that it's all like there is, I mean, that's insurance, right? The insurance has a fund, and that's going to cover those deposits.
Good.
It's not going to come from the taxpayers.
Right.
That's actually all bank funded money.
Right.
It's all of their premiums that they pay in every year, you know,
That
designed
they're
for when
forced,
somebody fucks up.
to pay people. Like, let's be
Right.
clear. This is regulation at work. The reason that fund exists is because banks have to do it. They're regulated and they have to put that money. So when we hear about how great deregulation is for investors, yeah, it's great because then they're not required to put money into these funds that protect their depositors. So sure, all of a sudden deregulation happens and you have $20 billion that you know can go to your investors. And yeah, they're deregulation. Let's have it, you know. But let's be really clear, they're not doing it out of the goodness of their heart. They're doing it because
no.
It has to happen.
Yeah, and I think there's probably some formula that involves how much you have in deposits. You know, you pay a certain, like, you know, 1/100% or whatever it is in that stuff, in interest into that fund in premiums every year.
Gotcha.
And it's a good thing. Like, thank God, right?
Right?
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Jeez.
Can you imagine if not? Oh, Lord.
Yeah, it would be like
things
1929.
happening. Yeah, out there. We had the Oscars.
Yes.
The Oscars, and we had a film that portrayed a fat person, not played by a fat person, not written by a fat person, not directed by a fat person, not informed by real life experience of fat people, win the Best Actor nomination or Best Actor award, which is, you know, if y'all are keeping track, not a good thing, right?
Right. What's fascinating is what I have seen from the fat activist community is it's Brendan Fraser, right?
Yes.
Yes. So he won the Oscar and everybody's like, yay, we love you. Hate the movie.
Hate the movie.
Hate the movie, but you are a wonderful person and deserve to be recognized for the work you do. And, you know, the movie was awful. The movie was awful, and yay, because this guy got blacklisted for a while because he named sexual abuse in the film industry.
Yep.
So he was a truth teller, and he came back and won it.
Mm-hmm. And he has done, like, you know, if you look at the body of work, he has done some really, really extraordinary acting. You know, in some other, I've seen him in, you know, other, not so much movies that where I've really seen him shine, but some limited series in the past few years that he's just really done a great job. And we have to be able to say, this is not the role that you get the award for. It's not appropriate. It's not right. It's appropriative. So if any of you haven't seen some of the Medium pieces by fat activists about this, please take a look.
There's a ton of really good stuff out there.
Just really just some really take down point by point by point of you know,
why that was a terrible thing,
why that was a terrible film, why that was not, you know, how it should be recognized, and the harm that it perpetuates, and the harm that it continues to perpetuate in our communities and in ourselves, right? Like, that's the and one of them, one of the articles named the organization because, of course, the producers saw this backlash, so they of course partnered with a prevent obesity organization, which, if you go to their funders page, is completely funded by
Right. By bariatric surgeons and
yeah.
Yep.
And I actually
Yep.
went to the page, and the first pop-up that before you can even see the page, the first pop-up that happens is, do you want referral to a healthcare professional who can help you with your obesity? And yeah. Like, wow. That's really all I need to know about this organization. Yeah, it's something.
Wow.
So, but
Wow.
everything all at once, everything everywhere.
Everything everywhere all at once.
Thank you. I can never remember the
Which
title.
was an indie film.
Yes.
Was an indie film that had a multiracial, diverse cast. Freaking swept
Yes.
the Oscars.
It was a beautiful
much I
thing to
know.
see. It was just beautiful. I loved the movie. If you haven't seen the movie, go and see it, and then go see it again, because the second time you pick up all, so much more, because it is really jam-packed.
Okay.
But just kudos to Jamie Lee Curtis for getting her award, because she definitely has a
Long
body of work.
overdue.
Yeah,
Long
and just a
overdue.
great role that she had as well. That was just so much fun. And
Michelle
Yeoh, yeah,
Michelle Yeoh,
doing just
who
fabulous
is
work out there.
phenomenal. She's
Yeah.
amazing. I
Yeah.
heard her interviewed on public radio. It was probably one of the multitude of Terry Gross things. I live near enough to Philadelphia that it's all Terry Gross all the time sometimes.
Right.
So but I did hear her interviewed, and she was just delightful.
Yeah.
In an interview. And then what's his name? The guy who started out as a child actor?
Ke-Hu Kwan, I believe it's pronounced. Yes.
Who got his start with like Indiana Jones.
I know.
When he was like a little bitty kid. He was like 6 or 8 or something. Yeah.
And I think he was also the Goonies. He was in the Goonies.
Yes, that's right. He was oh my goodness, right?
Yeah. Takes us back and ages us a little bit, but it was just that was great to hear. And I don't watch the Academy Awards because it's just too painful. But I do appreciate that, when people get their due. And we've got Angela Bassett has to find another role next year to be recognized for, because
hello.
Yeah, the fact that she has not yet been recognized, and particularly, I mean, the year she was up for the award was a really tough year. The year that, oh God, Matlin, what is her first name?
Marlee
Matlin.
Marlee Matlin.
Yeah, won. That was a really tough year. There were a lot of great performances. But yeah, just we've got to find.
I want to know what happened to the woman king.
Hello.
Like that got forgotten.
Right.
Forgotten. Right.
I wonder why.
And an interesting aside, the sword that she uses is Viola Davis.
Mm-hmm.
I'm terrible with names. The sword that she uses, I've made that sword.
Really?
I've made that sword, and I recognized it because I used as a model a picture from a museum.
Mm-hmm.
Right, probably the British Museum, knowing them. But anyway, right, African stuff. It's all in the British Museum.
Right.
But whatever, I recognize that, and I have made that sword. I gave it to a friend. But yeah, I was like, when I saw the previews and the clips and the promos, I'm like,
hey.
Yes, I actually have pictures of that on my phone, and I remember cutting myself because I make swords sharp, and yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah,
But that whole movie got completely forgotten. That one, and what was the other one that was, did Wakanda Forever?
Wakanda
Get
Forever. That's
forgotten?
what Angela Bassett was
Right.
nominated for. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
was
But
the first time that a Marvel movie Marvel movie was nominated for an acting award.
okay.
Usually the Marvel movies get like, special effects or
Costume or
costume or some of those kinds of things. And
right.
some of the comments in Facebook are Goonies never say die, which is a reference to the Goonies movie. And
Right.
Some of the other Goonies actor contacted the actor that was up for the award before the ceremony and said, and yeah,
congratulations.
and
Oh my God, that's just so cool.
yeah, and Kiana says, I love how long overdue only applies to non-Black people. Black people need to wait for praise after behind everyone else. It is absolutely true. Like, it's like we have to make sure that the long overdue non-white, non-Black people get theirs first, and then we can move on to the Black and brown people. Yeah.
How about just
it's 100%. You're right.
Grumble.
Yeah.
Grumble,
it's just
bullshit.
It is, and the fact that that we all know it now, like, there's no there's no saying that that we don't know what's going on. Like, it's not a great mystery as to that we just see the racism, and for a while there, we had hashtag Oscars so white, and that kind of thing, and even then, that
there are still Academy electors, the people who vote. There are still some of them saying the dumb shit out loud.
Yeah, and they get to keep their membership,
that's
and be able to continue to do and say whatever it is that they want to say. Because they're because they can, and because we give them that privilege and that power. So absolutely. Thanks, QuianaDenae. We love you.
Yes.
We are coming to the end. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just see, now I had a thought and it went away.
I hate it when that happens.
This happens a lot. I get a new thing that's sort of been kicking around for the last couple of months.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen it's a subreddit called Hold My Chalice?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. Talk about that.
Right? Oh my God. Reverend Kimberly Debus is writing some badass truths in delightfully frank and honest ways. And I don't understand how Substack, that's what it is. I don't understand how that works. I know that to see them all, you have to have a prescription. You have to have a subscription. And I mean, I subscribed because she's been doing amazing work for a long time that's been largely unpaid. She did a series a few years ago, where she wrote sort of what do you call them? Like little, they're not essays, they're not long enough, but she did all of our hymns one by one, a hymn a day for a whole year, talking about the origins of the song and and I mean, she's got a degree in like musical theater, so she knows all the words to do that stuff, right? And uses music terms that I don't understand, but I know that the music team at the congregation I serve loves that piece, loves that compilation of her work. And now she's writing these amazing essays on congregational life and sort of human nature and systems and how healthy systems behave and how unhealthy systems behave and how this is how triangulation starts. And she's been, oh wow, it's just been really reading some cool stuff there. Yeah, we should totally have her on at some point.
Yeah, that would be really wonderful.
Yeah.
Somebody in the chat asked for us to rename the author of Hold My Chalice.
Kimberly Debus. And it's Kimberley. Debus, Debus.
Yeah. And I put it in the we both put it in the link is in
Facebook
the
chat.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. She's been writing some amazing stuff. And, as expected, she wrote some stuff, and then some of our grumpy bully type people piled on and tried to give her a hard time, and she shut them down. She's like, yeah, this is what happens when bullies do the thing. Yeah, I'm tired of it. Not doing it. Yeah. And boy, howdy, that's been I've had it's interesting. Ministers are sharing these things with each other, and every now and then one of my board members at church will share something with me that they've seen there. So it's really it's interesting to see who's reading this stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, because there's a lot of truths there that I think some of us might look at and not realize she's talking about us.
Yep.
Like, oh, gee whiz, right? Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah. And so along those lines, Sarah Scotchko has also released a YouTube video.
What?
Yes. Have you not seen
this?
That's not
her baby? That's not her baby?
Her baby is, like, we've got some of the cutest UU babies out there right now. It's
right.
ridiculous.
Yes, that baby. And she's adorable.
Ridiculous.
She's a little tank, too. She's a little tank. She's a little fire plug. Oh, my God.
My Facebook feed is filled with just delightful.
Right? And another colleague who recently had a baby down on Cape Cod, and that just, like, honestly, like, my dopamine hits since the pandemic. My dopamine hits have been coming from Facebook. Amy Carol Webb doing daily posts from her pandemic kitten named Gamble, who has just been like, she like put together a calendar and to support the local shelter, and it's sold out of Gamble pictures. And
my
and like
calendar is over there.
I didn't get one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I got there too late. But but like that's where my dopamine stuff is coming from, is cute baby pics and Gamble pics and other stuff. So anyway, but you were saying Sarah Scotchko. Tell me about the video.
Sarah Scotchko has released a video. I'm trying to get the link of it here right now.
Okay.
And let me see if I can get. Why can't I get it? I know it's out there. Hold on, team. There's more than one way to
we're gonna do tech stuff, so hang on.
there's more than one way to there
skin a cat.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Not that the cat likes any of it, right?
I don't think so. I thought maybe we should. Yeah. There's got to be
another. We probably should. Yeah, there's got to be another one.
There it is. It is.
Anyway, okay. So what does she discuss? Is the question.
She discuss the Unitarian Universalist what is it called? Unitarian Universalist Multiracial Action Council, and its penchant for being actually a pretty overtly racist group in itself. And one of the reasons to be giving out this information, Tanner, I'm putting the link in our chat and Rendezvous, if you can put it out in the Facebook land, is because one of the tactics that they use very often is to send an email to administrators of UU churches, asking for their information to be included in the newsletter. And because they present themselves as, a really benign, multiracial, feel good kind of outfit, sometimes that information does get out into church congregation newsletters. So Sarah did a service to humanity by naming the reasons why this is not a group that has our best interests at heart, nor does it have Unitarian Universalist values as its center of getting us all free. So take a look. Check it out, folks.
She's a brilliant writer. She's a brilliant writer and thinker.
Absolutely.
She really is.
Yeah. Absolutely. Maybe
and she happens to have, and she has an amazing baby. I think the last time she was on, she was about ready to give birth.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Right?
I think you're right.
Like she was like a day and a half away from having a baby, I think, or something like that. It was ridiculous.
Yep.
Yeah. What was that I heard?
Oh no, I was just checking over to make sure I got the link in before
Yes.
So for all of you who watch, there is a time delay on what the broadcast is and what the Facebook is.
So I just heard that. That's what I heard. Okay.
That's what you heard, and also, so QuianaDenae, I probably was talking about Angela Bassett at the exact same time that you were writing your comment about what about Angela Bassett. So yes, absolutely, and we need more. We need more ways to lift up the work. Like I was thinking, they have the Razzie Awards for like worst performance. And I know that NAACP gives awards and Essence gives awards. But it would be nice to
BET gives awards too.
Yeah, I think it would be nice to see how we can lift up those award ceremonies in a way that the Oscars and Emmys and Grammys have become kind of the marking post, and really let's see what truly is out there, because when you expand the fact that everything everywhere every now, whatever that title is, got made and that people are seeing it is truly remarkable. But what's not truly remarkable is that is out there. That kind of it is out there. It's not what's being resourced.
Quick thing I thought of. Wellesley College. Wellesley, traditionally a women's college, one of the Seven Sisters, confirmed its decision to not admit trans men who are applying to Wellesley College. They are not going to expel students who transition during their time at Wellesley. And they will accept non-binary folks coming in, but not trans men. So, and the students voted against that. They had a referendum and they said, no, that's not what we want. We want you to include trans men. But the president and the board of trustees decided that. So that's interesting. That's a complicated thing. Yeah,
that's a really complicated thing. We should bring that up for a topic and get some folks on to talk about that. I'm an alum of a Seven Sisters school, Bryn Mawr, and I've followed the conversations in the alumni spaces about what it means, and the policy to not expel has been, I don't want to say a long-standing policy, but it has been kind of the practice for a while now at I would say many of the Seven Sisters colleges. But the decision about admitting and all of that kind of thing has very much been a conversation out there, and, among current students, among faculty, among among
Alums and
women's
trustees
studies
and
groups. It's been live. So that would be a great topic. Mental notes.
It'd be interesting. And I'm sure I'm sure it wouldn't be too hard to find Seven Sisters alums.
We've got actually a Facebook group of UU Seven Sister alums. So if you are a Seven Sister alum and you are a Unitarian Universalist, hit me up and I'll get you over to our Facebook group. It's a closed Facebook group. Hit me up. I'll give you an invite, and it's a great place to talk about.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Because I'm interested what the conversation is from alums, because I have my own opinions as a trans guy.
Yeah.
About what that is, and it is complex. I won't say. I feel as someone who's now identifying as male that I don't actually get a voice in this argument.
Mm-hmm.
It's not mine to decide.
Mm-hmm.
I have some thoughts, I have some opinions, but they're sort of at the bottom of the list of people who gets to have something to say about it.
Yeah, and I think that's an interesting, people often ask me what I think about Puerto Rico and Puerto Rico's independence and Puerto Rico's statehood and Puerto Rico's its status as a colony. And I often have that same it's really not for me to decide. I do have an opinion as somebody who's Puerto Rican and there and now lives there, but I also feel like there's other folks that have more of a vested interest and don't have the opportunity to have a voice that I need to lift up. And it's an interesting place. I guess I can empathize or sympathize with you about I've got strong feelings about it, and I think that there's other folks that I also need to listen to more than I listen to my own voice.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maggie has opinions about lots of things too.
Hi, Maggie. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you, QuianaDenae, for live tweeting us from the. QuianaDenae is usually with us, but is in the middle of some work at the kitchen remodel and is working out of Panera today, so could not join us live.
Good for her. Panera.
Yes. But,
this is Miss Maggie.
Miss Maggie.
She's my tortie, who is the littermate sister of Hammy, who is the not terribly smart guy.
Well, we are complete because we have had a Zoom or online meeting now with a guest appearance by somebody's pet. And that will give you Zoom bingo if you happen to have your Zoom bingo card out. So with that, we will see you all next week, and we look forward to it. Take care. Stay safe.
All right.
Thank you for joining us. Special thanks to those of you who give generously to this ministry. It is because of you that this ministry is possible. You can click the link in the description to give now, or visit clfuu.org/give for more information. We hope you will join us next week for another episode of The View.